Hey, it's Ryan with QLZ, and I believe this is the first time we've ever had a band be on vacation and talk to us, finding us this important to take a family vacation and talk to a radio station. Excited. We're talking to Amanda from Eva Under Fire, new track Villainous. You can hear it on QLZ, song with Maria Brink. So Amanda, thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking this time on vacation. How you doing?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm great. I'm very relaxed.
Mhm.
Vacation's been good to me.
That's good.
But I'm home for a little bit in between tours, so I gotta get some family time in. But they're all celebrating too. I belong to a family full of rockers, so they're excited about.
There you go.
They were like, "We'll get your order, and you just go do your thing."
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Where are you vacationing at? Are you able to share that, or are you trying to stay off the
Yeah,
map? Yeah.
no, we hit up Gatlinburg because we hadn't been. So we've been through to Nashville. We played in Nashville, love playing in Nashville, but we've never done like the road trip thing to somewhere kind of off the beaten path a little
Mhm.
bit. So Gatlinburg was where we decided to. So Seaverville, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area.
Okay, nice. How's it been to kind of unplug? Because I told you we just got bought by a new company last year, and we've had a whole bunch of other changes on our station here, and dial changes, and a bunch of other stuff going on. And you're like, I really want to take a vacation. Like I looked into to going, like I've lived in Wisconsin. I looked to going like way up to northern Wisconsin at one
Mhm.
point to try to get away and just you know be in the middle of nothing, or just road trip out west somewhere and not really have a destination. So what's it kind of been like? Uniband, Eve Under Fire. I mean, things are kind of on full blast right now with you all
Yes.
coming back. You had a little bit of downtime and you're coming on back. So what's it been like? Going on tour for a while. You're on run for about 4 or 5 weeks. Tour with Five Finger Death Punch coming up. What's it kind of been like now to be able to just unplug and spend time with the family?
I feel like this is like one of the biggest resets ever. We've been recording for years, and so we had quite a bit of downtime for a minute, and then now there's zero.
Yeah.
so so this is me getting prepared for zero downtime, right? I woke up this morning, I had my coffee, stared at the trees. It was great. And so I think that's a great way for me to just kind of like take a breath before we really jump in here. But yeah, the release of music started late last year, with Awakening, and then
Mhm.
Murder Scene, and then now finally Villainous, which has been fantastic. So we were kind of doing a different approach this time, this like waterfall effect. So I feel like I knew it was coming. So this is my like last deep breath before we really jump in, which is exciting.
Awesome. I know, like you mentioned, Awakening was in the last year. We got it on some features here on QLZ. Was it purposely? Was that the track, the first one released purposely? Because you had been quiet for a little while, and then Awakening, was that kind of get ready for what's coming?
I think so. Yeah, I think that was so. It's interesting because I wrote this album lyrically as kind of like a really concept sort of story, and Awakening is like after you've been through all the craziness, now you awaken to who you are truly, and you've become this new version of yourself, the best version, right? So it was interesting that was like in a conceptual way, it was the last stage, but releasing music, it was the first one out
Okay.
the gate. So it's kind of juxtaposition. But I love the way that it did, that. And that was one of the things that the label had kind of said, like, this makes sense to just kick the door in with a song called Awakening. So I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought of because I told you a little bit my background in radio, and obviously I know "Blow" was a really good song for all of you on the radio. It did very well, and when I kind of came back into radio, I was like, I wonder what this band is doing because you kind of keep, I like to keep lists of bands, especially do things like our spotlight to highlight new bands and stuff like that. I like keeping a list of what these bands are doing and where they're going. Because it was a little quiet for all of you for a little bit, and I know this, between Villainous, the new record, it'll be out in July. Um, you've talked about a little bit of a darker kind of feel for the band right now, not everybody people kind of labeling you like this party band in a way and everything. And the music was rocking and fun. Like it wasn't like you guys weren't putting out rocking tunes, but it feels more serious. It feels a little bit darker. What kind of led to the transition from this? I'm sure I know I've heard a little bit, so there's a lot of things in there, but so what were some of those things where you're like, we've been dealt a kind of a shitty hand in some ways.
Yeah,
What kind of
it's
what kind of led to this new tone?
Yeah, so I mean, we've been playing in the garage since we were kids together. So it's been a long time since we've written something that felt like it was true to ourselves. We had the our very first independent album was a lot more like darker themes. So that's what comes naturally to us. But when we first wrote Love, Drugs, and Misery, we kind of were listening to, what people were talking about. This is our first time in the big dog league, so they were talking about, this is how you write hits, so we were like, okay. And I think we just took a little bit too much feedback. It felt a little bit watered down. It felt a little bit like, and not in a bad way. I mean, I love the album for what it was. I love Blow for what it was. Certainly got us started, and but we wanted to say something with this album. I think it was really important for us to kind of capture our experience. So it's a much more mature album, I think, both thematically and sonically.
So Villainous as well. Again, it's out in July.
Yeah.
You got the title track for it. Before I even talk about like the song at all and working with Maria, did you get to do your own stunts in the video? And did they give you an actual sword?
Yes, okay. They did, and yes, I did. It was amazing. So there was actually like Screen Actors Guild stunt crew on set, which was wild. So, and that's who I had a stunt double. She's fantastic. Her name is Lorena, and she does like parkour. So if you follow her on Instagram, she's incredible. But she did like a whole sequence, and then the director, and I love Michael for this, Michael Lombardi, was like, hey, let's give Amanda a sword and let's see if we can get some shots of her like doing some cool stuff. So they taught me like real quick, like on the fly, how to do like certain, in the video you see like I'm challenging them and I'm doing some other cool, like I do a little spinny thing. And there was some cool like little sequences that we were able to get down. I was pretty quick, if I do say so myself. So we got a lot of really cool shots in.
I always, whenever somebody comes on too, if there's a video, I always try to rewatch the video like 10 minutes before we go on, because I'm like, I know there'll be something I'll pick up this time that I didn't the first time. And I was like, this is very Kill Bill. And I'm like, when Amanda comes on, I got to find out, did they actually give her a real sword for this? Because that's awesome.
I mean, it was a something that's from a stunt shop type store. It's not an actual sword. Okay. No. It was a plastic thing.
It's still cool though. It's still awesome though. That's all that matters. It's still awesome. What's something, obviously Villainous title track, it's the title track for a reason. What's something you would want our listeners to know about the song? It's a song we started playing last week. We're playing a little bit more this week. What's something you want our listeners to know about it?
Not everybody that tells you you're the problem is correct. Like they a lot of people have a lot of opinions about a lot of things that people do all the time. And people are like wanting to, so for all of my people that are listening who are, people pleasers, don't do that. Be the problem. It's fine. Live your life. You're going to be okay. They say that I'm the villain. That's fine. That's what I own. I wanted to own that because all I was trying to do was look out for myself, and people didn't like that. So, and that's okay.
Awesome. What's it been like getting back? You said, the first album you put out kind of was more on this tone. What's it like now to kind of be back in that realm? And does it feel like it's just more of yourselves? Is it refreshing? Yeah. Is it all those things? What's it kind of like getting back to that?
It is. It feels very much more grounded. We're not new anymore. It's not the first one anymore, which had its own moment, but now we feel settled in it. We feel secure in this. This is, a very mindful and grounded sort of experience. And it feels so much more authentic because of that, especially because the music is so reflective of us way more personally. So I think it feels really great.
That's good. Also, what's it like working with Maria Brink?
Oh, she's fantastic. So I've been a Maria Brink fan for years and have loved, I've been to several, obviously, In This Moment shows and different things. Roots is one of my favorite songs from her. So I just, I didn't really believe that it could happen. I just, but if there's any feature that's going to be on a song called Villainous, especially with a music video that looks like that, it's Maria. That's who you want. You know what I mean? And like, what a powerful woman figure who kind of embodies that same thing to be on the track. So, I mean, her grit vocal is just incredible. The first time that my scream vocal was ever compared to her, I freaked out. I was like, but she is mother metal. You know what I mean? Like that's so, and when it did happen, because the suits made it happen, right? She Instagram messaged me, which she did not have to do. And she said, I'm so excited about the song. Thank you so much for having me be part of it. I really think this is going to be such a huge song for Evo Under Fire. And I mean, she was nailed it, babe. She was right. So, but that was really encouraging and inspiring to me.
Yeah, it's getting there. Like we look at charts, we look at different things like that, and that's cool. But I think when you see views go up places, you see stream numbers go up places, and see people connecting with it, it's like it's crazy. So what's the first couple of weeks been like? I know the song's been out for a little bit. It's been to radio for a couple of weeks. What's the journey been like so far in the first couple of weeks of the radio campaign, I guess?
I mean, management's texting us every other day, number one song added at radio, number one song added at radio again this week, number one. I mean, it's just so sick. I mean, the Spotify numbers, crazy. Y'all are running the song up. Like, I love you. You know what I mean? So it's just, we've just been watching it go, and that's what you hope for.
So, and Amanda, I know you're on vacation. I got one other main question for you before you go, because I ask this to every band that come on for the first time, because I like finding out what albums you kind of gravitate to. Some of your favorite no-skip, favorite complete albums. So from the start to finish.
Linkin Park Hybrid Theory.
Okay.
Linkin Park Hybrid Theory, 1000%. I mean, that was like my gateway drug into like new metal and like rock music in general. Like that was the first, like I had grown up, my parents were talking to me about, all of the, Zeppelin and Metallica, and, my mom's vacuuming to Metallica. She's got it blaring, but like when I found rock music, it was Linkin Park Hybrid Theory.
That's the quickest answer I've had out of anybody. Yeah. I mean, people, you can see the wheels turning when I ask the question, but usually I get the entire question out before somebody jumps at it. But I'm happy that I'm happy to be interrupted on that stuff, because that's one of mine. That's been one of mine since I was 13, 14 years old when that album came out. So
yeah. 1000%. Yep. There you go. See, you were right there with me. Gateway drug to rock and roll.
Exactly. And then where can everybody follow all of you for Eva Under Fire, socials, all that? Obviously, July 10th for Villainous.
Yes. Full album coming at you.
Full album. 5 Finger Death Punch tour coming up here in, I believe, less than 2 months. So there's a lot coming for all of you. So we're going to follow Eva Under Fire, everything that you're all doing on social.
July is going to be crazy. So we go on the biggest tour of our lives, and we release hopefully what will be the biggest album of our lives. And I want you all to come along for the ride. So yeah, follow us on Instagram. I'm the person that does all the TikTok stuff. So we'll see you out there real soon.
Amanda, thank you for spending some of your videos. We appreciate and thing.
Thank you.